Good evening. I'm Dr. Armando Aguirre, Executive Director for our Education Service Center, Region 19. It's an honor and a privilege to work closely with all our districts, from as far west as Anthony to far east in Del City. Together, we are ensuring the success of all students through our commitment to high-quality education. That commitment has never been more evident than now. Our area schools are earning high rating distinctions and meeting all state accountability designations. This is an extraordinary accomplishment. It proves that there is outstanding work taking place in all our campuses. Day after day, thousands of dedicated teachers give their best for our children to grow and learn better than ever. Here at ESC Region 19, we know that the unwavering dedication comes from their passion for education and their genuine love for their students. It is only appropriate that we honor them with todo corazón, with all heart. So every year, we host the ESC Region 19 Teacher of the Year Awards celebration. We recognize teachers' hard work by honoring them in front of family, colleagues, community leaders, and in this evening, in front of you as well. From over tens of thousands of teachers, the top 21 area teachers are recognized for their achievements as educators at our celebration. This year's gala was at the Plaza Theater, and it was a memorable night, not only for our winners, but for all who attended the special event. Tonight you will get an inside look at the best of the best teachers from each district in our region. Their inspiring stories are a testament of the outstanding standard of excellence in education students are receiving in El Paso and Hudspeth counties. It is definitely the best time to be a student. Boundless opportunities await our children with the support from our partnership with area school districts. From school staff to top administrators, excellence is practiced at the highest level in each district to make children the priority at all times. This qualification is exemplified by both our Region 19 Superintendent of the Year, Dr. Jose Espinosa from Socorro ISD, and our Region 19 Principal of the Year, Mrs. Dana Boyd from Isleta ISD. Both of these administrators were recognized at our gala. And now we share with you an emotional tribute to our outstanding teachers. They exemplify the best of our community and hope for the future.
Integrity, perseverance, and leadership. Attributes of a champion. Unwavering resolve to uplift the lives of others. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2017 Region 19 Teacher of the Year Awards. Tonight, we celebrate excellence in education by recognizing outstanding teachers from El Paso and Hudspeth counties. 21 District Teachers of the Year winners, proved capable of inspiring children of all backgrounds and abilities to learn. These phenomenal teachers have gone through a very rigorous process just to be here tonight. First, they were Campus Teachers of the Year, and then moved on to the district level. And tonight, we will find out which two teachers will represent the best of our community at the state level. They embody superior leadership and excellence in teaching. All of our teachers are well deserving of that honor. We are proud to honor them in front of you, their families, their principals, their fellow teachers, students, and our community leaders. Welcome to the Plaza Theater and to the 2017 ESC Region 19 Awards Gala. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome an education innovator and advocate of teachers whose campaign for academic excellence in our community spans over 25 years, Dr. Armando Aguirre.
Every year we have the opportunity to bring the district winners together early to begin our celebration, and we talk a little bit about their past and what got them here. And there's a certain portion of our celebration where it's called meet and greet. We get a chance to hear their story, a little bit about their background. And it's a very inspiring opportunity and very touching opportunity because they share a little bit about their background and where they come from. And every year there's these gripping stories, and I just think back to those and I think of what education's all about. And in various cases, you feel that passion in their heart and that idea of why they became educators. Although every story is very unique, what really is clear in hearing their story is their passion and their belief in their students and the connection they make with their past to those of their students. And they realize that the future really does begin with education. And so for that, I believe that we've picked 22 teachers who really represent the best of El Paso.
Introducing the 2017 elementary nominees.
From Anthony ISD, Crystal Cameron.
Decide right now amongst your groups. I love it here. This is a great job. I love coming to work. I love my classroom. It's great. Everybody I work with is so friendly and positive. It's just a great atmosphere for the kids and just professional development in general. Class.
Yes, Ms. Captain.
Don't forget, we need to know, is it complete metamorphosis or is it... I had them practice making their own science lessons and they videotaped that, and then I had them videotaping plays. We also do science labs, and at the end of the lab, after they got their project all put together on paper, then they report out using Seesaw.
Yes,
Okay, so is that what you guys pick, a white tiger? It's very important because everyday life has technology and they need to be comfortable with it, and if they're able to use technology in the classroom with just teaks that we're having to teach them, then outside in real life they'll be able to apply it better in the real world with jobs that come up, college. Hopefully, they'll use it and just be really secure in what they're doing. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready.
She'll look up some funny stories with it. She'll get some cool stories, but at the same time it is helping us too in our education learning.
She helps me in a lot of different ways, not only with class, but in problems that I have outside of class. She makes me feel comfortable in her class.
Did you guys see how long they lived for? I always try to have fun. If I'm having a bad day, then my kids are going to feed off of that, and I want them to have a good experience in the classroom. So I'll come in with my red nose, or we'll just, if they're not catching on to a concept, I will stop, redirect, and try something different, just like at the spur of the moment. I'm sorry. But I do want them to leave here thinking, you know what, I had a great time. I like school. I want to come to school because they still have a whole future ahead of them, and I just, I'm going to miss them.
From T.O.Y ISD, Maria C. Duran.
How come he just doesn't go and buy that one? What did he need us to do?
They motivate me. They're the ones that bring me to school every day. And no matter what difficult day I've had, just seeing their little happy faces, I said, okay, let's do this. We're gonna do this together.
Do you think that this is a magnet?
And I remember the time that we took the reading mock test. That student that didn't pass, he knew that he didn't pass. But I think our assistant principal came and congratulated everybody, and I just saw that little face go down. And then I looked at him and I said, listen, what happened today? You accomplished something today. And he said, what? And I said, what did you do today? Oh, I took an AR test and I got 100, because he had never done that before. So she also congratulated him, so that brought up his spirit, and after that he took off. because we found something to motivate him.
We needed this product to do something. Isaiah, do you remember?
So it could be quick and easy.
Quick and easy, yes.
She got Teacher of the Year because she's always making sure we're learning and we're engaged and we're understanding the problem.
Do you think that the magnet is going to attract a bolt? And I said the bolt was this big screw.
That little sparkle, and that's what I talk about, always that sparkle that I see in my students, and that's what I look forward to. And I told them, I said, you know what, I'm here because of you. I said, for me, the most important part is your learning. And that's what I strive for, to make sure that you have a well-rounded education. And when they leave my classroom, I want them to have that love of learning. I want them to really leave and say, you know what, I really enjoy being in her classroom.
From Clint ISD, Maricela Fernandez.
¿Y dónde va a ir, gato? ¿Es una sílaba o una palabra? A ver si está correcto. Bien hecho, bien hecho. Nobody matches the hugs and that moment when someone learns something, that moment when you really see them like, oh, I've got it. The opportunity to do that, I think, is what drives me. I love that. My students at 5 years old are already coded as at risk not to graduate just because they speak Spanish. How crazy is that? And I'm like, no, that's a plus. And so I use that and I tell them, vales por dos. Abeja. There's all these statistics, there's all these trends that people are, just because things happen in your life, that you're bound to be that way. So what I try to do with my students, because they're like really my children, I'm gonna change that for them. That's not gonna happen to them. We're gonna defy those trends, and this is probably why I set the bar so high. I feel like a builder. I lay the foundation. Muy bien. We always have the assessment, and then that drives our instruction. The kinesthetic learner, the oral learner, the visual, I try to touch all the learning styles. Because I want them to know, in life, even as adults, we have things that happen to us, and it's up to us whether it's a mistake or a lesson. So you're gonna try, you're resilient, you're gonna go and try, and if you fail, that's okay. I'm gonna try again a different way, or I'm gonna do something else, but that you have to always remember that as long as you're trying and doing your best, then that's all you can ask for.
From El Paso ISD, Jill McGee.
We're going to be recording, so try and keep it down.
Here at Masita, I get to teach in both languages, half day in English and half day in Spanish, and so that's really fun.
Who feels as though they understand the ethical dilemma and they can put it in words, complete sentences? Ms. Molly?
We can have the expectation both ways, that Spanish speakers can be successful in English and English speakers can be successful in Spanish.
Yes, so that everybody.
One of the biggest privileges is being able to set them up and realize that, yeah, okay, I am able to be bilingual and be biliterate.
Change the backdrop for each one.
Yeah, you could use a desk.
Yeah.
I wanted them to be able to work in their strength. I try my best to provide opportunities so that not everyone has to do the same thing. They're able to have more of an internal motivation when they feel like they're more invested, like there's more interest.
Like you're gonna be really big.
All right.
Yeah. So some of my students, they're very interested in learning how to speak publicly, and so they chose the debate.
Not the giant.
And then I have students that are musical, and they always want to be singing or dancing, and so they're creating a ballet. I really feel like second grade is a pivotal year in kids' education, especially in the state of Texas, because next year they have high stakes testing, they're taking the STAR. And I want my kids to feel as though they are smart and that they have that strong base of who they are and who they are as a student. They're more than just a piece of paper, they're more than just a test, and that those skills and that self-esteem will carry them on, and really hopefully the love for learning.
From Fabens ISD, Rosemary Contreras.
Hey, all you Spartan fans, stand up and clap your hands.
Our model that we use here at our campus is a 50-50 model. So I consider it a very accelerated model because they're learning 2 languages at the same time. And it's beautiful because they blossom in both languages. And what is the main character's name? Travis. And we already know part of it. Reading is very, very important for my students, and they need to be able to read independently. Therefore, I allow them to check out books, the books that they want to read, and then challenging them to move up in their levels, not just to stay at the lower end because it's fun reading, but to challenge themselves. My heart went to pushing out.
She makes learning fun. She stops and then she talks with us about the story, and she makes us do summaries. And I read extra books without Ms. Contreras telling us.
I can change this letter and put one of these. They're having trouble reading, or they can listen to a story instead. And maybe they can't read on their own, well then they have a partner there to read with. But there's always that support that is going to guide them through that hard task that they have of reading. I'm going to look for the plot. That's my job. My job is to motivate my students, to inspire them to read, to love reading. And it is true because by the end of the year, there's a lot of kids that they'll write letters to me and they'll say, you have actually taught me how to love reading. And that just hits my heart because that was my job. And when they tell me that, it's that I've done my job.
From San Elizario ISD, Emilio Delgado.
Well, I look at my students as if they were my kids. I go back to where my kids were young, now my grandson. And I treat my students as I would treat my grandson. It's not about just working and working, it's about having fun and learning through that fun. This is where I think I belong. This is my calling. I feel it's a calling more than anything else. Especially I wanted to work here with my gente, my people. And where I grew up, it's almost similar. Back then it was similar to what, the kids' environment today. I can relate to what they're going through. And one of my favorite quotes is from a person's a person, no matter how small, from Jesus. And I want my kids to know that they're special. They are special people, that they are respected and valued as individuals.
Sure.
To make them feel important, make them feel special. Make them feel like if they were the president, that if they put their minds to whatever, they can do it.
From Sierra Blanca ISD, Valerie Cerna.
Today we're going over our plant and the parts of a plant. For example, this class right here, I've had them since they were in first grade. So I've seen them grow and I've seen their interests change. Dresden?
Planting?
We've been planting. We're fixing up our little planter at the front, right, to make it look pretty?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, since I've had them for a long period of time, I've been able to get to know each one of them and where they're at, and then that's how I assess of where we started, where we're coming, and what we're capable of. And I also let them know, just because you don't like this doesn't mean you can't do it. Girl, they just brought it.
She's a great teacher. She's nice to everyone, nice to me. She teaches us a lot what's good so we can all be smart. She always pushes us hard to succeed in school and be cool. She gives us field trips, and she gives us parties because we be good. Move from plant.
So I try to motivate them like that, letting them know we're capable of doing anything. It's just we need to set our minds to it.
From Socorro ISD, Erica Loya.
I think you're going to have a lot of fun, but it is challenging. You're going to have to think think it through. You're going to have to use the clues and figure it out.
I've always hoped that my students take away the ability to be lifelong learners. I want them to have a passion and a curiosity for understanding the world around them.
Serenity, nice and loud, please. Everybody else following along.
And so I try to model it here in class every day with them, and I just hope that that fosters a love and an appreciation for seeking knowledge in their everyday life.
Learning how to do math. Hey, were you guys born knowing math?
No. Like, the thing about Miss Leia is that, like, when we do, like, something boring, she puts, like, a dance in it or makes it funner.
The thing that makes it so great is she gets us engaged. She gives us extra strategies. She makes it fun and hard at the same time, which makes it easy for us to get good grades.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She makes everything better and easier. She's like the frosting to my cupcake.
I think you girls will like the challenge.
One of my biggest things I always do is I think of all of my different learners. I've got audio learners that just can hear something and learn it, right away.
Absolutely right.
My visual learners can always count on me having posters and examples and photographs. So I incorporate the technology. They have their iPads, they have their Surface tablets, and I try to put a little bit in every lesson that I do so that I make sure that I touch every learner in my classroom. Not every connection that I make with my students is academic. I think there's deeper connections. I think it's more emotional. I have always believed that I form a friendship with every one of my students. And in all the years I've been teaching, I take a part of them with me. And I kind of hope, and I pray and hope that they take a little part of me with them. Every day is different, and every lesson, every day is filled with a collection of aha moments, connections that I get to make with my students, and it's during those moments that I really feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be, within my four walls of my classroom.
From Tornillo ISD, Christina Bustillos.
I'm going to find out. Announce it to the world. There's the artist.
I feel like a comedian and entertainer at times, trying to get their attention, and I think that's what helps me out so much with them, finding out who they are, what they like. I've watched wrestling just to get into it. Right now they're into Pokemon cards, so I'm like trying to learn who the characters are, but it catches their interest and I want to be a part of their lives.
Hands are small in some ways.
I hope that they remember the fun that they had, but also what they're capable of, that they are intelligent people. I talk to them not like children, like adults, and I teach them about life. So I hope that not only they remember their multiplication, but that they learn their manners, and that goes with them as they grow older.
And what's going to happen to it?
Just teaching them the strategies that they need to know, teaching them how to read better, the clue words, and finding everything, making them believe that they can do it by themselves.
It's a symbol of who you are in the play.
You can hear them mimicking me, I guess you can say, to be a better person. So they're like, oh, well, the teacher said to do this, and they underline it, they circle, they find everything. So it's very interesting to see how they see you in that way.
Smells white, right? So you're gonna make,
because I don't just teach them how to read and write, I teach them manners. Yesterday we went to Olive Garden and they sat there at a table and we got compliments from the other people there. And it's just amazing seeing what they are capable of doing.
From Isleta ISD, Melanie Elliott.
What is another way to find just add them up. I want my students to think about that lesson beyond the paper pencil, beyond the test that they take. I need them to think of it as a lifetime skill, so that they have a reason to want to learn it.
They're saying that this is how it's going to set, then this is how it's going to.
As children's minds work so quickly, you need to keep them moving and keep them engaged and keep them entertained in the lesson. Things in their life do not go in slow motion, so we can't go in slow motion either.
Big boxes, right?
Whenever a student struggles, I remember back to my son's struggles. And you have to be patient, you have to give time.
So if you know this side's 36 and this
one's 6, you have to be creative. If it doesn't work, you don't give up. Every problem has a solution. We just have to find it.
Perfect.
And then when they get it, their eyes dance. And the coolest thing about it is when they get even those little successes, all of a sudden in that moment you can see that in that moment they truly believe, I can do anything.
Ladies and gentlemen, to announce the 2017 Elementary Teacher of the Year winners is Teachers Federal Credit Union President and CEO, Max Villaronga.
For now over 80 years, TFCU has been the teachers credit union here in El Paso, and we're proud now to have almost 58,000 members here. We are so proud that this year we were selected out of all the credit unions across the United States to be in the top 200 healthiest credit unions. There was only 22 in the state of Texas and only one in El Paso. That's your Teachers Federal Credit Union. Tonight, we're going to celebrate a few exceptional teachers, people in our community that really make a difference. At TFCU, we are very proud to be a partner to you on this day. And I have to tell you, I miss the meet and greet. And that's one of my favorite meetings of the year because I love hearing their stories. And this is the first year I've missed it. And I'm going to do everything I can to never do that again because it's such a beautiful set of stories. So before we recognize the top three here, third place, second place, and first, I do want to mention that TFCU, in partnership with Region 19, did something a little different this year. And when you get that envelope, top three, you're going to notice there's something very special inside that rhymes with honey. Okay? So we know we technically can't give you a raise at TFCU, but we can do some things, right? So at this time, I need the envelopes. Yep. So this is third place, Elementary Teacher of the Year, Cristina Bustillos. All right, second place, Elementary Teacher of the Year, Jill McGee from El Paso ISD. And the winner of the Elementary Teacher of the Year for Region 19, Marisela Fernandez from Clint ISD.
For all of you that know me, you know that of course I didn't prepare a speech because never in my wildest dreams did I think this would happen. I told my daughter, my son, I'm too old. But first of all, I want to thank Region 19. You know, Ms. Rodriguez, ella nos chipilea. Whatever event we went to, they make you feel so special. Like right now, we're coming up to think, be careful, there's a light, there's this, line up. They think of everything. And so I wish that all the teachers would get this wonderful experience because she knows how to throw a party. Thank you, and her committee. Thank you. I want to thank, of course, my husband, who for over 40 years has been my supporter, who just 2 weeks ago, I woke up in the middle of the night and I said, oh, I know what reading nook I want. I want the grotto from Notre Dame. You know, just a couple of crates, some chicken wire, some cement, Don't worry, Mr. Martinez or Ms. Flores, it's not gonna happen. He talked me into making a locker room instead. So that's the kind of support I have. My daughter, who is here, who is, I'm so proud that she's here with me. Our son couldn't be here. He was representing us at a wedding out of town, so he's there. And my grandson, who fills my heart with joy. My students are here. They're my little kindergarten students, mis niños, mis padres que me acompañaron hoy. Ustedes son la razón por cual yo estoy aquí y yo les agradezco de todo corazón por el privilegio de tenerlos en mi clase. We're all in love with teaching, aren't we? And that's why we're all here. And so I thank God that I get to go to a job that I love doing each day. And then, like I said on convocation, I carry everyone with me, the board, the superintendent, the administrators, the colleagues, the parents, mis niños. They fill my heart with joy. Thank you for this beautiful opportunity. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, from El Paso ISD, presenting tonight's Secondary Teacher of the Year nominees is your 2016 Region 19 Secondary Teacher of the Year, John Gable.
Greatest thing about tonight is not only are we being recognized for what we do, what we have done, but also we will be challenged by each other to do a little bit more come Monday morning. What we all share is in common, and that is we want to always be better teachers. We want to always be stronger influencers on our campus. We want to be difference makers in the lives of our students. We want to see our campuses and our community be a better place because we have given it our very, very best effort. Everyone in this room knows it's about the kids. It's our students who matter the most. We want them to be successful. We want them to know that there are adults who are standing behind them, who are there in their corner to help them, who are there, that no matter what, sometimes our students can't speak for themselves and they need an advocate. We need to be that advocate for our students. We need to meet them in their place and challenge them to be the best they can be. Find their gift. Find their potential. Look for their good qualities and bring them out. Let them know that you really, really care. I want to congratulate each and every one of you for the tremendous job you do every day and for being your campus and district Teacher of the Year. One of the teachers in secondary education will now go on to represent our region, and I commit myself to helping him or her in whatever ways I can. I want to also challenge each educator that is here tonight to be an ambassador for education, to be proud that you're an educator. I am EPISD. We are Region 19. Again, congratulations to all of you for being outstanding Teachers of the Year. And thank you, El Paso, for all you do, and thank you for your support for me, and thank you, Region 19. You're the greatest. Now, at this time, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my honor to introduce to you all the District Teachers of the Year for secondary education.
Introducing the 2017 secondary nominees.
From Anthony ISD, Kimberly Avila.
Yeah, we'll do the small birds black because they're doing different size birds. I want them to persevere. I want them to learn perseverance, that if it doesn't happen the first time, you keep working and you get it to happen. And sometimes it requires you starting all over from the beginning, but what did you learn differently in that process? And that's what I think education's about, is learning what you can do better the next time, or what you need to know so that you can to be more successful.
Good job, Hannah. I made progress.
When I finish something, I'm like, yes, again, because I usually do something, then I'm surprised she lets me, but she lets me redo it because I get frustrated at something. So I redo it and redo it until it comes out right. And when it actually comes out, it's like a feeling of accomplishment.
Does it need more paint, or you guys okay? So at the beginning of the year, I kind of like set it up so they can be successful, and hopefully that first success, that second success, if it doesn't happen the first time, throughout the year, that it'll build on their self-esteem and it'll help them want to take those risks and be more creative. I try and make my class period the class period that goes fast, and I always feel like if they look at the clock and it's over and they say it's over already, I've done my job.
From T.O.Y Regina Bustillos.
Human truths is another word for advice.
She's very creative, as in she makes us get into the actual meaning of the text instead of just finding the answer. No, she makes us look deeper into what the real meaning of things are.
Last year, I used to have students highlight all the human.
But I do see that I learn more in Ms. Bustillos' class than I have in other classes.
With things you don't know. One more.
They speak more critically. They are starting to analyze literature that they didn't once tap into. Writing and reading. We have tailored discussions in a much more deeper level than when they first started. So, definitely evolving. Yes.
Get it? All right, so next chapter. I'm going to play it, and you have to find the human truth.
She's very fun and interactive, and she finds ways to make her students understand what they're learning.
Teaching is, there's always a new day in teaching, and it's just amazing.
From Clint ISD, Janice Blystone.
What is it called when you do sideways? Landscape.
They'll perform for you if you have confidence in them and let them know that you have that confidence in them, and then they'll usually step up to the task.
I have more confidence in speaking in front of the class. I've been encouraged to learn more and make school fun.
You'll see a folder at the top that says first.
I like to have, everything that I do is hands-on. So they come out with a finished project. It gives them a sense of accomplishment that they can do this.
Maybe it's better that way. Go to the computer on the left.
Presentation skills that I have required for the activities BPA have helped me with English classes. Now, any class that asks for a presentation, I'm not nervous anymore. I just stand up, do my work, and
You want to click on that little square there.
well, for me, she has done a lot for me. She has helped me be involved in the school activities such as BPA and UIL, which she takes care of. She's the one that organizes them and everything. I mean, if it were for her, I think I wouldn't be involved. And this year, thank God, thank you to Mrs. Blackstone, I managed to go to nationals.
Click on that and switch it to say
Her class helped me choose what I'm going to do in the future, which is a computer engineer, because it sparked an interest in computers inside me and along other peers that I know of.
It's really fun to watch them start and finish a project and have something to show for it. That's what's very rewarding, is to have the students come back and just come back and thank you.
From El Paso ISD, Michael P. Reese.
Okay, what can happen if a household doesn't have access to clean drinking water?
Well, as soon as I first came into Mr. Reese's class, I could tell it was different. He really emphasizes the use of technology, but he also has a really good knowledge base, because he's so good that you don't even have to read the book, he'll prepare you with what he tells you. Injuries from the weight of carrying buckets on the shoulder.
The reason why I structure the day-to-day rhythms of my class very intentionally to give each student on a daily basis the opportunity to read and write, listen and speak, as an individual, as a member of a small collaborative group, and as a whole class, is because I think that that is one of the essential skills that young adults need to cultivate in order to be successful in the 21st century American economy.
Italian names were added.
He makes the class fun in general so we don't get bored or we don't fall asleep. He helps us, he interacts with us, and he just makes everything better.
How is this going to change the lives of people for the better? The supplemental resources available in instruction to expand the conventional textbook instruction is at this point limitless. There's really never been a better time to be a teacher or a student.
From Fabens ISD, Julieta Banuelas.
So this is trial and error. You guys need to figure out what size you're gonna cut. Whatever I teach them in this class, they can use it in their real life. Because whether we're doing math, whether we're learning about environment, it's where you live. The environment is where you live, and we need to take care of it because a lot of things are changing in the world. And this is where you're gonna connect your chalkboard. Okay.
Ms. Banuelas places a very big emphasis on cross-disciplinary courses, making sure that what we learn in another class can be applied to what we learn here in environmental science, and makes a lot of our other classes a lot more interesting because we know that there's different connections and that it applies to real-world circumstances.
You can use this as an example of how your rocket should be built. They need to realize that no matter how big of a challenge, they can be problem solvers and they can exceed. And just because they think science is hard doesn't mean, and they don't know English, doesn't mean that they can't exceed in it.
Is the glue fast strength?
Yes.
And we're really grateful to Ms. Banuelas because she was really the pioneering force behind all these new programs and these new reforms in the science department, which have benefited a lot of the students and the community as a whole. So the STEM program works really well. Now we have engineering programs, we have AP Chemistry, AP Biology, AP Physics, and Environmental Science. She really makes it a hands-on experience throughout the whole year. There's never a dull moment in the class. We're always having a lot of fun, and we learn a lot along the way.
My students always, come back and tell me, Miss, I loved your class, and I think that's the best gift a teacher could have.
From Fort Hancock ISD, Glenn Myers.
Did the atomic number change?
Yeah.
Did she do that right?
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
For me, accommodations and modifications are for every kid. Because you can have a kid that's not classified as anything, but still need that extra help in some area.
Let's practice.
He's honestly one of the best teachers at the school. He explains it when you need to understand it, and he makes learning fun. He doesn't give up on you, and he helps you when you need help.
The two alpha particles have 2 protons and 2 neutrons.
Yeah. And the thing that I always emphasize with them is, I just want you to learn how to learn how to figure things out.
And as soon as they finish, you get up and go, right?
If he sees you need help in a certain topic, he will bring you in for tutoring, want to or not, he's going to bring you in, and he will focus on you until you understand the topic you're in.
Yeah.
So to me, the most important job that we can do as teachers is teaching kids how to learn, how to find the answers with whatever resources are or aren't available.
From San Elizario ISD, Michael Warfield.
One thing that you need to remember when you work in a group, you want to select people with different strengths.
Our job is not only to teach them what's 1 + 1 or 2 + 2, but it's also important to teach them how do we apply that to the real world.
Like the sock pocket does look really cool next to Batman.
While we're trying to teach them vocabulary, we also need to teach them self-esteem.
You basically fit anything in the sock pocket.
We need to teach them and uplift them and build them up and allow them a safe environment to be able to fail, show them where their shortcomings are, and help them build them up.
Thanks, sock pocket.
So I take a lot of my coaching techniques, I bring them into the classroom, and a lot of my teaching techniques, I take them out there to the court and to the track, because I feel like that is just an extension of the classroom, and the classroom is just the extension of competitiveness. Because in order for our kids to be successful, they need to understand that they're not just competing with the person sitting next to them, but on an international side.
Every time it comes out, why? Anticipation to get you hyped up.
This is the phrase that I always tell them. We may not be bigger than anybody else. We may not be as fast as everybody else, but we will not be outworked by anybody.
Do you all think that their marketing campaign was effective?
He appeals to like a lot of the students. He uses different methods, different teaching methods in order to grasp the students' attention. Even the people that are constantly missing class or something like that, they come to class, they dress up on Wednesdays, and he motivates people to do it.
Why would they spend millions of dollars on commercials?
I've seen students go from doubting themselves to believing that we can be two-time state champion cross-country runners, to where we can have track kids that can qualify for state and medal at state. So I've seen a shift from I don't know if I can or to I'm gonna do it and I wanna see you try to stop.
From Socorro ISD, Diana Rios.
Are there any questions?
No.
Are you ready to get this party started? Yes?
Yeah.
All right, so let me go ahead and put you into the groups. Then I'll send a tutor to your tables.
We really kind of teach them a little bit of everything. Study skills, organizational skills, interpersonal skills. You're gonna have to learn how to talk. And so we kind of teach them a little bit of everything to make them that well-rounded student, so that when they apply for those scholarships and at these universities, they're gonna be like, yes, everyone's gonna want these kids.
And you're trying to find area and perimeter.
Just with Avid, like, she's helped us see that yes, college is hard, but we can be prepared for it. And doing the things we do now, like the notes and being organized, we can be prepared for college, and it shouldn't scare us. We should be excited to go to college.
I have Taylor, Gabby Quintero, Sebastian.
And she really cares about her students, and we love her for that.
So then you did the square root of 3 on both sides?
I do it because I want to be the best possible educator that I can be for them, because I want them to be successful. Whenever they succeed, I succeed. And if they fail, I feel like I fail with them.
From Tornillo ISD, Claudia Herrera Soto.
What would you be wondering or worrying about? What would you say or exclaim out loud when you're here? Remember, he's lonely, he's sad. What sound do you hear? And these are students that they'll go like, oh, so I can put crashing on the waves. And then I'm like, yes. And then they get all excited about it and they start picturing it. You have to find a way for them to understand, oh, I can do it. I have the ability to do it. Oh, and when you see their little faces, just go, oh, so I can do it like this. And maybe doing what?
I think what makes her special is that she turns education into fun activities. Now, I describe stories with more vivid words, like more advanced words.
Each one of you. And it's one of the other reasons why we read Harry Potter, because she has so many elaborative details. So when the students are reading it, we're reading it all together, and I like to read it out loud. You want to make sure you catch their attention. You want to make sure that they don't say, and I make the noises, and I'm very, and then they're like, oh, I can picture it. And they can actually picture that. I said, that's what I want from your writing. I want to be able to picture what you want to tell me.
I really like this class. This has meant a lot to me because she's helped me in many things in life and in school. Sometimes I have some problems in life and she kind of like helps me go through it.
Tell a personal narrative because it's supposed to be just a little anecdote that happened to you and that changed the way. You want your students to always take the fact that you believed in them, that somebody believes in them, that with perseverance you can learn, and that you will be able to do it if you just keep trying. What is he singing? A sad song. And in order for me to know, my students have so much to offer. They can be our next president. They could be a doctor. I could be teaching a lawyer. I can be teaching anything right now. They're just so unique and they have so much to offer. And that's what I want them to know, that my Tornillo kids are awesome.
From Isleta ISD, Raquel Kuka.
When I walk through that door, it's like time stops. I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do. Every day it's a blessing for me. The kids, they teach me, I think, more than I teach them sometimes. And they're hungry. They're hungry for these hands-on activities. And I love nothing more than doing hands-on activities, because I think that when they're physically involved, and then everything else just kind of falls into place.
We got it! We got it, guys!
It makes me feel like I'm fulfilling that goal that I started so many years ago of inspiring as many engineers as possible. To me, that's my paycheck. Somebody explain to me volume. When the kids come back and they tell me, Miss, I want to be an engineer. To me, that's powerful because you're changing an entire generation. And that's how you know that you're doing what you love. And I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Remember? Just to know that I was able to help in some way, that to me, that's pretty powerful. Yeah, I think that's my favorite part of the job.
That many robots?
What color are you making it?
Yes, I could have been an engineer, and I think that would have been great, but it wouldn't have given me nearly as much happiness as this gives me. And so I love it. I absolutely love it. Awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, returning to present to you the 2017 Region 19 Secondary Teacher of the Year winners, Mr. Max Villarronga.
So again, this group to my left, you're right, all of you already won. So let's give them a round of applause. Without further ado, the third place Secondary Teacher of the Year is Diana Rios, Socorro ISD. The second place Secondary Teacher of the Year, Julieta Bañuelas from Fabens ISD. And the winner of this year's Secondary Teacher of the Year is Raquel Cooper, Isleta ISD.
Thank you so much. Oh my God. I work really hard to provide my students with those opportunities, and I strongly feel that education provides every child with opportunities. But it wouldn't be possible without the support of my coworkers from Parkland Middle School, my amazing administrators and principal, Mr. Javier Salgado, the wonderful staff at Parkland High School T-STEM Academy, and the T-STEM board, our very supportive Superintendent, Dr. De La Torre, and the Board of Trustees at Isleta ISD, especially Shane Haggerty, our board president, who shares a passion for providing our kids with opportunities. He actually got on a bus and went to a competition one time, and he goes out of his way for our kids, and I'm deeply, deeply grateful for everything that he's done for us. Dr. Kennedy and Dr. Livermore, for all your support. Educators that I've learned from, including Ms. Dana Boyd. Thank you, Dana. You've been a great mentor. Mauricio Cano, Luke Carroll Edwards, Ruth Armstrong, Rick Puente. They taught me what UTEP didn't teach me in the classroom. Finally, to my personal support system, my family. I thank you for your love and your encouragement. You guys have taught me to take advantage of all the opportunities that I've been blessed with, and I thank you for being my support system. Thank you so much to Region 19. Thank you to all the teachers and everybody that came out tonight. Thank you so much.
Once again, congratulations to all of our District Teacher of the Year winners. And a special thank you to all of our teachers' colleagues, family, and friends for joining us this evening to honor these deserving champions of education.
Congratulations to our winners and to all our District Teachers of the Year. They are all deserving of our recognition. Here at ESC Region 19, we are assured that these educators, along with thousands of other teachers in our region, are treating children as if they were their own. As we work with teachers and administrators from every district, there's a common thread that unites all of us, and that is a love for learning. We see it when we visit teachers in the classroom. We hear it during lively discussions at our workshops for new standards and strategies. And we feel it when we see our students graduate from high school and go on to college to fulfill their dreams. Region 19 is committed to ensuring success for all our students by providing the highest quality support to all our districts, from the smallest rural school in Sierra Blanca to the largest inner city school in El Paso. We are all Region 19.